Hi, my name is Tom de Groot. I'm the director of Mendix Cloud for Mendix. And at Mendix, we're always looking to meet the customer where they're at. So whether that's through available technology, security certifications, compliance need, or in the case of Mendix Cloud, quite literally where our customers are located. So we know how important cloud availability is to our customers all over the world, and organizations like Baraka have requested availability in their base in South Africa. And we're excited to announce that we recently made cloud available in 3 new regions, not only South Africa, which Baraka requested, but also Bahrain and India. To talk about the impact this availability has, I'm being joined by Hamza Asmal and Mohammed Kaka of Al Baraka Bank, located in South Africa. Mohammed, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning and thank you, Tom. Mohammed Kaka, Chief Operating Officer of Al Baraka Bank, South Africa.
And Hamza, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning. Thank you, Tom. Hamza Asmal, General Manager Digitalization, Al Baraka Bank, South Africa.
Thank you for joining us. So, as stated, we have opened a new Mendix Cloud region in South Africa. Can you tell us a little bit about how it improves the customer experience for your end users?
Tom, if you allow, I'll take that question. Al Baraka, South Africa, started our journey into cloud as well as into low code with Mendix. It was our first foray into the cloud environment and requiring a cloud that would meet the requirements of the banking regulator together with the local legislation. We chose to host in Ireland because of them being GDPR compliant, which is quite some distance away from South Africa, but it was the most convenient location for us at that time. What we found was that as the solution is designed primarily across APIs, our calls to the Mendix server and responses to that had a small factor of latency. It wasn't a train smash. It allowed us to go live with the application that we wanted to build and put out in the market space. But it still allowed an opportunity for us to improve on that latency. That theory was further sort of expounded on by the fact that when we tested the application with Mendix Expert Services out from the Netherlands, they had much better response times than what we were experiencing out in South Africa. And then we had staff and clients that had banked with us from Europe and had banked with us in South Africa. And they also gave feedback to us in terms of the excellent response times as they were closer to the cloud location. We then asked Mendix to have a look at hosting in South Africa as an AWS environment became available in South Africa. And from the little testing that we've been able to do thus far, we've seen a 50% improvement in the times of certain calls from what we would have been doing in our test environments out in Ireland to the test environments out here in South Africa. So I think the move of the cloud to South Africa is a huge benefit for us. It's going to improve what has already been a successful Mendix implementation for us, 2 successful applications that we're using on the Mendix environment. And all that will happen is the customer's experience is going to get so much more better in terms of the response and the richness of the response.
So, being in the banking industry, security is a high priority, and we build that into the Mendix Cloud. Can you tell us a little bit about how that helped you maintain your availability and security for your customers in South Africa?
Yeah, sure. So, one of the real plus points for us with a small security team is that we don't have an army of security experts around to go and configure things, from the ground up. And so, with this Mendix environment migration and the standard tools that Mendix provides to copy across security configs and settings, it was very easy for us to take our security standards and protocols and setups across to the new environment and to audit and to cross-check and to make sure that what we had applied originally still holds true in the new environment, and that we're not dropping our security in any way by means of the move. So yeah, in a nutshell, the new environment is as secure as the old environment. We're able to easily audit and check and make sure that the right standards are in place. And we still maintain the same level of confidence and comfort in the security of the solution.
That's great to hear. And what was your experience setting up your applications in the new region?
Yeah, so the experience is pretty simple. Like most things Mendix, we had expert support from Mendix support in terms of getting a new node set up for us in the new region. We were able to provision that new node in parallel to our current production and acceptance nodes. And that meant that we could go ahead doing the setups without having any impact on our existing workloads. We then worked with our partner, Avedra, our professional services and implementation partner, to get the new environment set up to match the old environment. So, looking at the network configurations, the access profiles, the domains and certificates, all of those good things that make the environment secure and performant. And that process was seamless and pretty straightforward because for all purposes, it's simply just a matter of copying across. The interfaces stay the same, the menu stay the same. There's no new learnings, nothing really that changes, and it was pretty seamless. Where we did need support in terms of uploading backups and getting restores done, Mendix support was on hand, providing quick turnaround times to resolve those issues. And we very successfully concluded our first tests on the acceptance environment, and looking forward now to the migration into production once we stabilize our current development and our code base.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit about the impact this has on the availability on Al Baraka, and also what new flexibility and control you have gained with local data storage?
So, Tom, I think the massive improvement for us was the fact that we have a much quicker response. So we've taken away a lot of latency, 50% of the latency that we've had in the previous system. So where the previous system was good, the new one is now excellent, and it gives us that leverage of being a small organization and being able to deliver world-class on par with the rest of the competition type of responses in mobile applications. As part of the fact that the cloud is now within borders, it does help a little in terms of regulations and ensuring that the local laws are adhered to in terms of data storage, etc., where previously we would have needed to ensure that we were compliant on a GDPR side. South Africa's version of that is Poppy, and with it now being in a South African space, we are fully compliant, and we are a lot more at ease about the level of our compliance on that. So it makes the customers happier because they get a world-class service. It makes the regulatory and compliance people happy because they know that everything is within the borders, and they know their rules and requirements are being met. So overall, very much a win-win solution for Al Baraka.
Very good to hear. And finally, my last question: has this new availability affected your SLA?
So no, our SLAs still stay the same. We still have the same platinum support SLAs with Mendix. So yeah, we don't expect it to affect SLAs in any way. I think one plus factor is that because our calls are no more routed all the way to Europe, we no longer have or we will no longer have a dependency on the undersea cables that link South Africa all the way through to Europe. And that cable has had issues in the past. So with us removing that dependency, we do expect our availability scores overall to go up, because we're now just routing calls locally on our local infrastructure.
Very good to hear. Mohammed, Hamza, I want to thank you for your time and thank you for joining us. It's great to hear that you're utilizing our new Mendix regions. And of course, if you have any feedback or any product requirements that you would like to see us build into the product, let us know. Thank you for your time, Mohammed and Hamza.
Thank you, Tom. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you and Mendix for being so customer centric and always doing the utmost to meet our requests and to ensure that we have the same level of service and support like Mendix customers all over the world, even though we may be so geographically remote. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom, and thanks for hosting Al Baraka on this discussion this afternoon. It's been a pleasure chatting to you, and as usual, it's a pleasure working with Mendix and the support that we get from your team, and we're looking forward to many future initiatives and works that we can do together.